So, how you doing, folks? It is Tuesday, and it is the 21st of January, 2025. Can't stop laughing because of something funny I just saw. Here in the real world in northern Israel. And let me just tell you something. We are now a day into the Trump presidency, right? You could say it's only been, whatever it was, 12, almost 13 hours now. Technically a little more than a half a day. Hey man, how about you round up? Day one, over, right? It's now after midnight. It's already 21st of January in Washington, D.C. too. I don't know if you guys remember, but for the last few years at least, right, since the beginning of the war in Ukraine, when Putin sent his Russian military forces into Ukraine to invade Ukraine and to basically reconquer it, because that's just the kind of villain he is. For literally at least the last couple of years, right, Trump's been boasting that if I were president, A, this war would have never started, which is nonsense, and B, I could end this war in the first 24 hours if I was president. It would be over before I took office, he said. You guys remember that? Over before he took office. And then he shifted the goalposts. Over on my first day of presidency. Okay, still not bad if that's just what you can manage to do. Okay, great. Let's see it. Even though if you could end it before taking office, why wouldn't you? Right? I mean, the Biden administration gave you massive leeway and allowed you to interject yourself into foreign affairs, which is a direct violation of the law. And they allowed you to do it. They allowed you to send your team to, Qatar to work with the Biden administration team so that the crossover from the Biden administration team to the Trump team would be relatively smooth, following any kind of ceasefire agreement that might be reached with Israel and Hamas during the Biden administration time. And it was, and your team was there, and they allowed you to be there to effect a smooth transition. So yay for teamwork, both parties. But remember, that was only allowed as a grace because it is a direct violation of the law for any president or his deputies. For any non-president, right? For any person who is an American citizen who is not deputized by the president or an authority of the president, like the State Department, which is authorized by the president, or the Secretary of State, right, or the Defense Secretary, anybody who is allowed to speak with and negotiate with foreign power leaders of any kind, that is a direct violation of the United States law. So again, they gave the Trump administration the grace, the incoming Trump administration, the grace and the respect, and said, go ahead. If you think you can help by joining these discussions, then by all means participate. They gave him that. He said he could end the war in Ukraine. He didn't. It's still going on. Russians and Ukrainians are fighting right now. Like literally right now, as I speak. Bullets are flying, bombs are flying, people are getting hurt and dying right now in Ukraine because of Russian aggression. Putin and his invasion force are causing death and destruction and injury in Ukraine as I speak. And we're now on day 2 of the Trump presidency. That war's still going on. Why am I lingering on this point? I'm lingering on this point because all you suckers who said, no, Trump's going to end the wars. Yeah, you believed that he would end the war with Israel and Hamas. He didn't. You believed that him winning the war would cause Hezbollah to make peace with Israel. It didn't. You believed that him becoming president would mean that he would end the war in Ukraine before he even became president. It didn't happen. And then you believed that he would end the war between Russia and Ukraine on day one of his presidency. It was very specific, not day two. Don't give me this day. Oh, what's the difference? One day. No, motherfucker. There's a big difference. The difference is you fell for a fucking lie. Okay? Oh, you don't like to hear it? It hurts your feels? Oh, your feelings are hurt? Your fifis? I thought fifis don't fucking matter, asshole. Facts do. Your fucking cult leader lied to you and you fell for it. You ignorant sack of shit. If only you knew a goddamn thing about politics. Now, I'm not saying that the last guy that was in office was some great, amazing person. Yeah, I think he did an okay job. No, I don't think he was a insanely bad criminal worse than the guy who's currently in office. Has he done wrong things? I'm sure he has. He's been in politics a very long time. I don't think he's an angel. I think every politician is a liar, a scoundrel, or a thief. But to compare any of the liars, scoundrels, or thieves in American politics to the one currently occupying the Oval Office now is a bit of a joke. But yeah, but he's the least politician. That's very funny. Yeah, maybe he's the least politician. He's still a politician through and through. You don't become president without being a politician. You fell for his fucking lies. Ha ha. This is what you voted for if you voted for that orange man. He lied to you. You bought his fucking sack of lies. And now you're going to pretend like it didn't happen. He pardoned 1,500 people, involved in the riots of the insurrection of January 6th. That's what he did on day one. That's the action he took. He pardoned the leader of the Proud Boys, who was convicted of trying to overthrow the United States government. A treasonous act for which he should have been hanged or shot, according to Trump himself, who said that people who are involved in treason should be facing the death penalty. He pardoned that guy. The guy who was sentenced to life for 22 years plus 5 years of supervised parole. For his leading a plot to overthrow the United States government. Pardon that guy. Pardon 1,500 other people who did other acts of wanton criminality in order to try to block the peaceful transfer of power for the first time in the United States history. We literally had a civil war in the United States, and blocking the peaceful transfer of power didn't happen. Even attempting to. But no, that guy, Tario, he gets pardoned, even though he actually tried to stop the peaceful transfer of power, as he was prompted to do by the current new president of the United States, Donald Trump. So again, I'm not here to be nice and say, oh, everything's going to be hunky-dory. Let's just hold hands and sing Kumbaya. No, I don't trust any politician. I don't trust Trump. I don't trust Biden. I don't trust Harris. I don't trust Clinton. I don't trust any of these guys or girls, women or men. I don't trust them. But don't sit here and pretend like this guy is some savior of the American political system. He's not. Has he lowered the price of eggs? Has he lowered the price of corn, of milk, of bread, of rent, of your car payments, of your mortgage, of your education, of your health care? Has he lowered any of those prices? Did he ever do it when he was president? No, he didn't. Oh, you telling me you made more money when he was president last time? Great. He was also, you could say then, well, he was riding off the coattails of Obama. And this time you could say he's riding off the coattails of Biden. Because both Biden and Obama were president for 4 years. Well, Obama for 8 years. Were president for 4 years prior to Trump taking office. Again, Obama 8 years. So Obama had 8 years of first recovering out of the hole of the economy, of the economic disaster that was the American landscape when he took office, right after the housing bubble collapsed in 2008 and Bitcoin was born. And in January 2009, Obama became president, right? And then he had 8 years of first recovering from the disaster of the economy collapsing and then rebuilding it. So he was president when the American economy rebuilt itself. Again, presidents get way too much credit. They don't cause the entirety of the economic landscape. They just don't. Not for good and not for bad. They overpromise and underdeliver. That's what they do. And they get too much credit and they get too much blame. 100%. I'm not here to tell you that Trump is the devil. But he's a liar just like all the rest. And those of you who thought he's some kind of savior or whatever, you're fucking ignorant. I'm sorry, and I'm not going to be nice about it. Okay? You didn't bother to learn a goddamn thing. You fell for his snake oil charm, which is hilarious to me. I fucking laugh at it because it's pathetic to me. But that's okay. Like, I love you all dearly, even the most ardent Trump supporters who are good people. I do. I really do. I laugh at the people who thought that Biden would be the savior of everything. No, Biden was never going to be the savior of everything. No president can be. Right? They're just temporary workers, for God's sake. They're just temporary workers. They have a 4-year political job at the helm of an administration. So, don't understand what I'm telling you. Right? Don't expect the Messiah to be Mr. Trump. He's not. Don't expect him to be the next Jesus because he's not. And anybody who fell for that shit while he was running for office, and people like me were telling you, he's not going to end the wars on day one. He ain't going to lower the price of eggs or milk or housing or education or healthcare or transportation. He didn't do any of those things. Day one's passed. Fucking deal with it. Why am I walking and talking? It's dangerous. You're hilarious. Well, I'm walking in pedestrian areas. And I guess, living in northern Israel, you could say, is dangerous. Well, living anywhere can be dangerous, huh? Anyway, stay safe. Peace.